Good morning, it's the Vintage Fisherman. I'm working on a reel. It's not really super vintage, but it does have some sentimental value to my girlfriend. It was her dad's. Might have been one of the last reels that he purchased, because I would date this reel for somewhere in the mid-2000s, and he passed, I think, in 2008. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I want to fix it up for her, and she wants to use it, and she can use it. It's a Diawa AG2000 long cast, all graphite. For the type of fishing that I would do, I would probably use it for maybe plugging on the coast for Spanish mackerel. It'd be fine for that. You could definitely handle some, and it's been used on the coast. It's full of sand, so that is kind of a precursor to what he may have used it for. Nice drag stack in it. I love fixing reels for people that have some kind of sentimental value to them. So, I don't know, I get a lot of enjoyment out of it. The reel seems to be 100% there. Don't see any problems with it. It's functional. Handle. Let's I believe I can take this cover off. Let's take a look at it and see. I've done a few of his reels for her and her mom, and yeah, I've got a couple more to do yet. Not a lot. He fished on the couple of bass tours, and so a lot of his bass gear went on to some of his fishing buddies. But I'm sure he had some really nice bass gear. Most guys fish tournaments only use the best. Didn't get to see any of that gear, but I do have a few of his rods and reels, I guess, that were kept for family to use. And no, I don't think I can get that off like that. So I'm gonna have to pull the rotor, which is odd that I have to pull the rotor before I can pull that's just really weird. I don't know, Diawa did some weird things back in those days. But yeah, the rotor's gotta come off, so I'm not sure how you're supposed to take a rotor off and can't get to the axle shaft, but here we are. Okay, so you just pull that like that, and then here comes the cover. Okay, that's not that hard. Just backwards. Then you pull the shaft. There's a one screw, just like most spinning reels of this vintage. You have one screw, shaft comes out, then the whole thing comes apart. There's the screw for that. Now, oh goodness, that gear will come out. Down in here is the crosswind block, crosswind gear. Okay, now we'll take this anti-reverse switch out. So bushing on here and a shim. I always keep note where these shims are. There's actually 1, 2 shims on the handle plate side, nothing on the other side. We'll flip that to cut the anti-reverse off. That cog for the anti-reverse comes out, and then you've got big C-clip, or yeah, be a C-clip for any lack of any other terms, but that comes out. It's not a ball bearing reel, it's a bushing reel. So there's the housing. We're going to leave that just like it is. All right, let's see what we can get into over here. I believe the spring's on this side. Let's take a bell loose right here, bell wire loose right here. I have the rod, matching rod, so this is probably a combo. This might have been one of those deals. He was at the coast at a pier and decided to pick up a combo to fish with. I'll clean the rod up later. I'll show you the rod here in just a second. There's that. So your bell spring is going to be over here. It's got sand in it. I think it was used on the beach. I'll be real honest. I think it was used on the beach. All right, so this is probably going to be a coil spring type bell spring. Keep your finger over this, because when you take this cover off, it's liable to go flying. No, it's got a regular bell spring. Okay, good. Take this off right here. Hold that down. Put your finger over all that so it doesn't fly out on you. Release the tension. This lever should turn it sideways, it comes out, and that's the whole reel. The rod that goes with it is also a Diawa rod, so it was a combo. It's pretty dirty, been sitting in a garage. Diawa Graphite Black Widow. I remember these combos a long time ago. 7-foot rod, medium action, 12 to 20 pound test. It's a Korean rod, and I think it was Thailand reel. So there it is. I'll clean it up, come back, we'll put it back together, and we'll surprise her with it. She'll be happy. I'll be back. Hello, I'm back. I've got this Diawa AG2000 cleaned up. Let's put it back together. Pretty nice old reel. It wasn't that dirty, to be honest with you. First thing we have to do, get a little bit of grease down in here. And this lever goes in like this and then turns in and rests right there. Okay. And, well, actually, let's take it back out. Got ahead of myself. The spring has to go in there. There's a hole. Now that I've covered up with the grease, it's real easy to find. There's There's a hole right in there somewhere. There it is. Now we can put this back in there. Okay, just like that. This lever, where that came from, goes in. You got a hole in the bottom of it. Put that into the spring, and then I knock the spring out. I'm on it today. I'm on my game here. I couldn't get any better than this. Okay, let's get it right here. And then that lever, oh goodness, will snap in there. I'm going to get that screw started. Yeah. It's like 5 o'clock or something in the morning, so bear with me, folks. I am not quite awake yet. Getting ready to go on a little fishing trip today, I believe, so I want to get up and get this reel back together. This cover has to go back on. Everything's kind of bunched up here for a second. You'll see how it all falls back together. So I surprised my girlfriend last night and told her I was fixing this reel for it. It was her dad's, you know. I think I mentioned that at the very beginning. And now she's real excited to take it fishing. I believe it was used for surf fishing. Just going by the amount of sand that I found in it. So whenever we get back to the Outer Banks and do a little fishing from the beach down there, this will go with us. And there you see that lever that kicks the bell trip comes out right there. So that's pretty much the whole thing. I'll tighten that down just a little bit more. Now on this side, you just got this cover, which is also a counterbalance weight. And it gets the roller. I want to say that spring that I found laying on my bench came out right there, and I'm gonna put a little bit of grease in that. And the reason why I put grease in that is to keep that screw from getting stuck due to corrosion. So this reel is in really good shape. Nothing at all really wrong with it. Just been sitting around in a garage for years collecting dust. It wasn't even, the lubricant wasn't even bad in it. I could have easily just wiped off the outside, and there you go. Although that roller, let's move the spring to the outside. See, I don't know where the spring went, because, or not the spring, the washer. The washer fell out while I was taking it apart. I found it laying right here. I'm lucky I didn't lose it. Let's move it to the outside. It seems like it's locking it up in there. And it doesn't want to come out. Yeah, I think it was just a little bit too much for the stack there for the roller. So we're going to put it right there and see if the roller works. Line roller. Sometimes it's hard to tell. There Everything seems okay on it, but it's not. I don't think it's turning. Yeah, it's turning. Okay, we're good. So that part is together. Next step is to lubricate all these pivot points in here. I didn't take any of this part off of it. Didn't see the point in that. Still just a little bit of crud down in it. Well, it's not crud, it's old grease. It's not really anything but old grease, which won't hurt anything. Going to lubricate this really well. And put it back in there. This has a retainer that goes on it. This is a bushing, doesn't have a bearing, so we're going to grease it good. Then you have a C-clip retainer that goes in there. Just like that. See there? Okay, now your anti-reverse dog or paw or cog. This would be a cog. Goes in there. Just like that. Now I can't put the rotor on just yet. Can't get too excited just yet. We've got got to get a lot of grease in there because it's all just plastic housing bushings. There's not any real bushings to it. So I'm going to get everything lubricated, or no bearings, is what I meant to say. So I'm going to get everything lubricated really well before I start putting stuff together on it. Here is your crosswind block. Just goes in like that. There is some lubrication points in there where it slides on the housing. Make sure you get those good. Now, the gear had two shims on it on the handle side, and it had this bearing. Now this bearing, which is just a plastic bushing basically, went in to the housing like that. Pretty sure of that. Let's pull it back out of there real quick. Excuse me. So it would go, let's grease this up. Yes, that turns freely, so that's a good thing. I don't want that to, I don't want the plastic to spin in the plastic. That's not good. You're going to ruin a reel real quick. Just a little bit of grease here because I've already greased that pinion gear really, really well. And that will go back in. Now, we can put, remember I had to take had to take this off. This has to go on there first. So you got your rotor nut. This goes up on here. I'm not sure why they designed this like this, but if you know me as a mechanic, you know how I feel about engineers. Anyway, I won't get into that on my YouTube channel. If it weren't for engineers that really suck, you wouldn't even hardly need a mechanic most of the time. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Before I tighten that down, we'll go ahead and put the nut back on there. We'll tighten it down. Got to use a wrench because of an engineer who designed a reel that had to be put together when it was all the way together. I'm not sure why. Just don't understand it, but anyway. Now that goes back into the crosswind block, and you got a screw that goes down in there. Oh, heck. I'll let the screw get away from me. And I did it again. That's nice. Let's try this. Wow, it's going to fight me. And there we have it. I expect it'll get smoother as I crank on it. And guess what? I forgot, I've got to get that. There again, an engineer screwed me. I've got to take the rotor back apart, or take it back off. This is why I had to take the rotor off first. This housing, this cover plate, goes underneath the rotor. Really makes no sense. But I'm not an engineer, so not making sense for a living, I can't comprehend that. We'll tighten this back up and put the rotor back on it again. Still haven't figured out what vintage this reel is. I would say it's from the 90s or early 2000s, if I had to guess. That's when the graphite craze was kind of taking over fishing, or I call it the plastic phase, when they were getting away from real metal reels into plastic reels. And they really come a long way since then with the plastic. But I'm going to put a little bit of grease on that nut. I probably should have done that first. That brass to aluminum on that gear will corrode, and you will never get that off of there. Just saying. And there is the reel. I gotta put the drag stack together. We'll lubricate the handle. Put this back together. Tighten the handle down and let's see how it spins. it'll get smoother. This is sticking a little bit. That's not good. Pour some more oil down in there. It's got sand in it. And you can only do so much on these fixed, you know, you can't take the bolt stud out. So you gotta, I run them in my ultrasonic and it'll get some stuff out, but sand does not come out when it's mixed with grease and oil very well. It kind of sticks around for a while. So I'm probably just sitting there grinding that post up, but there's nothing I can do about that. The reel seems tight for some reason. I don't know why. It's just something about it. It should, it's just slightly tight. It should have a little more. Let's loosen the rotor nut just a hair. Didn't really change it. Well, that's the best I can do with it, unfortunately. Let's go ahead and put the drag stack back together, and I will give this just a little touch of cowls. All right, you got a felt washer. Looks like felt goes in first. Keyed washer. Another felt washer. I never actually did anything with these except for wipe them down with my rag. I didn't put them in the cleaner. Then you get an eared washer. Another felt washer. About time to refill my small cowls tub here with some of my bigger tub of cowls. So you got a keyed washer. Then it was a wavy washer. This is how I took it apart. Then a keyed washer, and then the snap ring. And that's it. Put a little dab of oil on that line out alarm. A little grease there where the retaining knob goes for the spool or drag knob. There you go. There is one Diawa AG2000. Starts at RG2000. That was fished with, we believe, by my girlfriend's dad at some point. Probably on the coast. I think he was probably near the coast and picked this combo up at Walmart or something and fished with it. But it was, we feel like, because of where it was part of his fishing arsenal. But there it is. It'll fish on for many years. And here's, of course, the rod it was on. Pretty sure this was a store-bought combo, since it's a Diawa rod too. There you go. It's made for 3 ounces, which would be fine for the surf. You know, if you're doing just bottom fishing, yeah, it's fine. Just no problems at all. Well, anyway, this is as long as you're not fishing. Okay, let me back up a minute. So surf fishing is one of those things you got to have some weight for. You've got that constant motion of the waves coming in, the waves going out. And the rougher it is, of course, the more weight you need. But on a good calm day, 3 ounces would be fine for bottom fishing for pompano, bluefish. This would be a fun little bluefish rod and reel. You would have fun fighting a 2 or 3 pound blue on this, to be honest with you. Even up to a 10 pound blue would be a fight. But you know, if you were fishing really heavy, nasty surf or an inlet where there's a lot of current, you would probably have to go to a heavier setup. Just wanted to clarify that. Anyway, this is John, Vintage Fisherman. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. And come on back. I got more coming. Like I said, we're going to try to get out to the creek today and do some fishing. So there'll be some content made today. I don't know how quick I'll be able to edit and get it up, because I'm trying a new editing software. I can't seem to get one I like. I'm still using Power Director for my reel repair videos. It's really very easy. I can do it on my phone. But for the outdoor shot videos and splicing in footages and stuff, yeah, I need something a little more complex. Anyway, thanks for watching. Talk to you soon.